see, yo.
All right, guys. I think we should get a move on, especially as we know people
Okay.
time restrictions on all these things. So, have you got your boomerang on Instagram?
I did it. Watch what I did, please. Tell me if I need to.
We'll watch it after, inshallah. All right, so Bismillah, let's go. So, Assalamu alaikum all. Welcome to the BUIS Exam Talk, and we'll get started now, inshallah. Okay, so study methods. For this part, basically the members of the committee, including myself, will just mention basically how we study or how we structure our studying. I guess I'll go first. So my thing is, when it comes to studying, when it comes to doing anything, you have to find what works best for you. For myself, I don't have a specific timetable. I just kind of try and structure my day around, prayer and things. So let's say I wake up in the morning for Fajr. I know 2 hours after Fajr, I want to be doing something productive. I want to do something in terms of studying. But I don't have any specific times. I just know, okay, within a day, I'm going to try and get 5 to 6 hours of work or studying done. I don't like to put like timetables on it because, with different and other commitments, things come up and then, things have to get moved around. So I prefer to work knowing, okay, I want to work this amount a day. I have 2 rest days as well during the week where I try to, give myself some time off, still be a little bit more productive, maybe 1 or 2 hours of work.
Okay, so for me, I'm not very proud of the way I study. I stay up all night until Fajr. I pray and then I fall asleep, which is probably not what you guys would want to do. I don't know, but it works for me. I study most and I focus most at night, middle of the night. During the day, like I wake up late, not gonna lie. If I have to wake up early, I will. But usually I wake up late. I start my day late. I drink coffee, sit with my classmates, and then wait for Maghrib, pray, and then start studying until Fajr. That's my plan, basically. And final year, honestly, social life, the balance is very weak. So I'd say 20/80. So most of the time I'm studying. So yeah.
I try to make like a weekly type of list to follow of like either lectures I have to catch up on, problem sheets. And now we have like loads of pre-lecture work we have to do. Yeah, just make a list of that, try follow it. I also make sure I don't do too much work. So like I do take breaks or just chill at the end of the day, especially. Watch Vampire Diaries with my whole flat every night. So we make sure we get a solid amount of work done before we start watching Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, so basically, I really don't get myself that much worked up for exams or for any thing like that. I do obviously make a timetable and I make it a point to finish the stuff that I've planned before going to bed. And, once I've done a particular thing, I reward myself. I'll go out for a walk. I'll, just cook myself a nice meal or something like that. So I just try to maintain a balance between studying and taking breaks, basically.
Yeah, that's really good. I think from a lot of what I'm hearing is that we reward ourselves well for Redina and Tanisha. They reward themselves for studying at least. I reward myself with resting, and I guess because Leanne's situation is a bit different. She is in her final year, so everything just work. But yeah, basically everybody has their own style. Everybody has what works for them. You just have to find out what works for you.
I just want to mention for the freshers, I noticed you guys that most of their exams are from either seminar questions or past papers. So first year, definitely focus on solving questions. You're going to see so much similarities in the exam.
So like if you study a course, like let's say biology, where you have to do a lot of memorizing, or chemistry, where you have to learn a lot of structures and stuff, making them as well is part of studying. And then after you make them, you can then use them to revise. And you find like if you have some free time, maybe on a bus, you're on your way to somewhere, where it's safe, you can just quickly look through. And that's also, some form of revision, which is really good and really helpful.
I have basically personally never used flashcards. So what I do is I make notes. So I make them chapter wise and I use a lot of color to highlight the important stuff and so that it looks attractive and it's not boring when I'm reading it. And if you use a lot of color, I've realized that if you have a photographic memory, it's really easy for you to just visualize the page and, learn it in a faster way. So I put a lot of color in my work.
To be fair, I just thought about something. I'm like, if you got to this point, you probably already know how to study. Like you don't get to university and don't know how to study. I think more about university is how to be efficient with your studying and how to get the balance right. So just a couple of things is like when you're studying, like when you have your phone beside you, it can be a bit of a problem. When a notification goes off now, you're always looking at the phone. It's, I'm pick it up for like 2 minutes. Let me quickly reply to, I don't know, Daniel or something. And then you reply, and then 2 minutes turns to 10 minutes, and 10 minutes turns to 30 minutes. Now you're on Netflix and you can't be asked to study. So I think it's really important to, like I said, know specific times within the day you're studying, like I do, or if you have a timetable on your phone and timetable, and for those periods of time, know that you're focusing completely. So when you're done studying, you can completely relax and completely be fine that you've done the work. It's well enough, like especially when it comes to exam season, you find that you're spending a lot of time just studying and studying throughout the day. And certain times you might not even be as efficient as you think because you're studying and focusing so much, and sometimes you're just writing down things and not really taking anything in. So exercise is a good way to break away from that. When you're exercising, your mind goes completely away from studying, or just finding certain things, certain vices that help you take your mind off the exam, so you can, when you then actually have to study, you study and you study efficiently. And again, trying to find the balance, try and exercise, and also try and sleep as best as you can. Leon's a bit of a night owl, so she's staying up till Fajr. But again, it depends what works for you. If that, like, I guess it's worked for Leon so far. So if you prefer to stay up night or sleep and then wake up in the middle of the night and study, but just make sure you're getting your sleep. While you're studying, know when to take a break, and when you're being a bit lazy and just push through, but also know to take a break.
With study spaces, it's very important. Your study environment plays a big role, even if you don't feel it. So I have 2 essays due on the 14th of December, and I was like freaking out the past few days. I wasn't feeling well at all. So what I did, I got on the train and I went to Cardiff to see my brother, and now I'm here and I can focus better. So if you feel like you're losing focus, concentration, motivation, it really helps to change your study environment. And I don't know if you're the type of people that like to study in the library, but definitely consider that, especially the library at night. And don't always study in the same place. It gets like very repetitive and boring.
Also,
Is
guys,
that
if you
like,
need help with your essays and all, then there's student services. They can review your essays for you. They can give you tips on how to improve. They can teach you about plagiarism and your citations and all. So if you want, you can contact them for help, the freshers.
It's fine. It's still the first year, so like take it easy on yourself. It's only to get used to it, especially the first semester. So don't worry too much. You'll be fine.
So food. I think people underestimate how much food plays a part in, just your general mood and your efficiency and everything. There is all the science and the research and all that kind of stuff. But just like, even just speaking personally, I feel very different when I eat, let's say, a bowl of fruits or like a fruit salad to when I eat like a whole hefty kebab. Like, it's a whole different feeling, and I'm sure you guys can relate. When you eat like heavy, fatty, oily, sugary foods, it puts yourself in like, I don't know, it puts you in like kind of like you get ready to sleep. You're in a sleep, you're just trying to sleep after you eat. So I think in order to optimize being able to do well and being able to study well and study for long periods and still manage everything, I think you should try and eat as healthy as you can. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has advised us to include certain foods in our diet, certain things they used to eat. And during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they didn't really eat they didn't really eat heavily. They just ate enough to get through their day. So things like honey, figs, pomegranate, dates, grapes, all these kind of things, just things to sustain you. I'm not just saying just eat vegetables and fruits the whole day. Obviously, eat what you eat, but just try and eat healthier, try and eat cleaner, just generally. And you find that it helps with your mood, find that it helps with your general efficiency and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's so easy for us to like not realize that we're getting dehydrated. So make sure, as Ahmed's doing right now, drink a lot of water.
You have to, yeah, you have exams, yeah, your degree is pretty important, but you have to take care of yourself. At the end of the day, there's no point in putting yourself in a situation where you're putting your health at risk just because of, school or degree exam. Nothing's more important than you. Of course, you have to, certain times you have to push yourself, certain times you're lazy, you really have to push yourself, but really try, don't compromise your health just, to get a degree. Does anyone else have anything to say on food before we move on?
Oh yeah.
So if you ask about food, I particularly eat a lot of sweet things while I'm studying. I don't know, but I just love to eat a lot of sweet things while I'm studying. So I'll have a donut, I'll pop in cookies, I'll just eat anything sweet that comes my way. There, and it will just give me that sugar rush then. Sugar rush, so it really doesn't make me tired. But yeah, I love to hog on cookies and donuts and all while I'm studying. Brownies, I always keep them by my side.
I thought Hassan was gonna be like, he likes eating biryani when
Cooking that takes the whole day, man.
Is it? I only eat it, I don't cook it. Can't even let.
I think Rodena mentioned this, making schedules of what you want to do, and Tanisha as well. Plan your day, make it realistic. Don't say like, oh, I'm gonna finish the whole lecture slides for every single module, whatever. Don't put pressure on yourself, make it realistic so that actually if you make a checklist and tick them off, you feel accomplished. We have limited hours every day, and personally, honestly, I feel like time is flying. I don't know about you guys, but it really is. The day passes by so quickly.
Realistically, when you factor in that you have to pray Salah, you factor in you have to cook, for those of you us that cook, you have to factor in, you have to eat the food that you cook now, you have to, put the exercise in, you also have to sleep, you really have to think about it. And then, like I said before, things can come up, things can come up and just cause disruption. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. At this point now, I wouldn't say obviously the pressure is building now, but don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just try and be more consistent rather than just do a whole day of studying and then the next day you don't study. Yeah. Hard work is not studying for 24 hours. Quality definitely wins over quantity. So for the hours you are studying, make sure you're really, putting effort into it. And then after that, then, you can, when you're relaxed, and when you're studying, study, work hard, play hard, When you mix both things, your efficiency becomes less, and then you don't even enjoy the free time you have as well. So apparently it's a win-win situation.
This really
definitely. I think a big thing, especially in our dean, is that the best way to retain knowledge is to teach or to, share the knowledge. It helps you, knowledge. I don't know if you haven't watched the latest bedroom khutbah, check out our YouTube. What's that about?
Yeah.
Basically talk about sharing, not gaining knowledge and that kind of thing. So if you're the kind of person who likes to learn and you like to learn, you like to study in groups, this would be something you can definitely apply. So you can learn and share, and you can do quizzes, you can test each other, that kind of thing. Me personally, I'm a solitary learner. I prefer to just do my thing, because when I'm with other people now, certain conversations start happening now, and when I'm talking about school. So again, it heavily depends on how you learn. If you prefer to learn with people, certain people I know as well who can't even learn if they like people being around, so to study. Certain people prefer having people around, and makes it easier for them to study, gives them motivation. So whatever works for you, as long as you're getting your work done.
Yeah, so what I do is me and my friends, we do the same course. So at the end of the day, we send each other like a voice note around like 3 or 4 minutes, just explaining the key concepts we learned and what we think we're going to be examined and the questions and how we can answer them. Even if we barely studied anything, just a tiny bit would do, but at least you're like speaking about it, sharing it, it helps you remember and helps the other person benefit and you'd benefit from them too. So I recommend that. As Hashan mentioned, it's gonna be on Inspira. I don't know how much you guys know about it, but I heard that it's like a program the university bought. What it is, usually they record you through the camera doing the exam. Like it's like an invigilated thing. But for this year, they're not going to do that because of privacy policies, like students were complaining. So it's just going to be, it depends on your department. Like for us, accounting and finance, it's 24 hours. They give you the exam, you can access it and solve it. Then you either scan the papers that you solved or paste it onto the actual program itself and submit it. I don't think it's a big deal. It's like the Moodle. It's the same concept this year, like nothing's going to change. But I feel like for second semester, they're actually going to invigilate. I'm not sure about that, but that's what I feel. But as of now, it's quite chill. Nothing much you need to know about it. And they're going to release a tutorial soon on how to use it.
One thing, at least, let me maybe if I'm speaking just specifically about my course, is that they definitely compensate for the fact that you don't have to come in and write an exam. Don't go into these exams thinking, oh, it's going to be easy. I can just open my book and, and I'll just copy in from my book. Actually put the work in, learn the concepts. Maybe certain things you don't have to memorize because, you can just refer to your textbook or your notes, but definitely try to know, have a good understanding of the content. Like, but things like you have to apply the knowledge now. Now it's more heavily focused on applying the knowledge, and that's how the exam is going to be because they know you have access to certain things. So
Yeah.
And
The vice
yeah.
chancellor sent us an email actually, just like
Sorry, what's that, Rodina?
explaining Inspira.
Oh,
The
really?
vice, yeah, it was quite a while back. It was the 9th of November. And he
Okay.
said that this year we're not going to be monitored. So there's no
Yeah.
AI. So because they haven't subscribed to that, but they could possibly in the coming years. And they're going to start with Jan exams. So they're going to
Okay.
in Jan.
okay, yeah, and to finish off, one thing I'd like to say is that when it comes to exams, when it comes to exam season, we tend to focus a lot on our exams. But one thing we definitely should not neglect is our deen, and there's many du'as and stuff like that that you can, pray. You can use to ask Allah to help you in the situation you are. But definitely, even prior to the du'as, try and keep your salah in check. Try and increase in nawafil, and most importantly, trust in Allah, and bi'idhnillah, Allah will make the exams easy for all of us. So as you have on the screen, one of the ayahs you could say is رَبِّ اشْرَحْ لِي صَدْرِي وَيَسِّرْ لِي أَمْرِي وَاحْلُلْ عُقْدَةً مِّن لِسَانِي يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي. The meaning of that says, "O my sustainer, open up my heart, make my task easy for me, and loosen the knot from my tongue so that they might fully understand my speech." Always, always, always have trust in Allah and have faith that Allah will help you in whatever situation that is.
So what I do with my flatmates every single day, I'm not there, like I'm not home now, but I FaceTime her and we still do it. An hour every day, just reading Quran together, watching a motivational video about Islam. I love Mufti Mank. He's so great. It just, honestly, you feel like your heart's so calm and at peace and nothing matters to you. Like whatever you're stressed about, you throw it behind you. You just feel like ready to just pull through. So I definitely recommend an hour every day just to recharge your soul. It's crucial.
The dua itself is Allahumma لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. So, for Allah, there is nothing easy except what you make easy, and you make the difficult easy if it is your will. I was spamming this. I remember every time I had to do public speech, I used to just spam it because my heart would just be jumping and I would just be, spamming this to her. So, definitely there is, as Leanne says, once you dedicate some time to Allah, you trust in Allah, you build that trust and relationship with Allah. Certain things, whether or not, at the end of the day, you come out doing well or not, but it definitely puts you at ease. It definitely calms you, makes you content, and definitely if you put the work in, you will see the result of the work.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, inshallah, I believe that's it. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask.
This morning I was chilling out in London, oh. Then I ended up in Istanbul. Last night I was in Switzerland. I'm a traveler on these lands.